Hey guys, it's Tyler from Peregrine, and we're back with another episode of Thank God It's Happy Hour. This week is Earth Week, so we're here with a original cocktail that we made in-house that only uses ingredients sourced within 150 kilometers of Peregrine HQ. This is our first stab at the 150 kilometer cocktail, so let's get into it. So it sort of begs the question, why would we make a cocktail with only ingredients that we can get in our own backyard? The challenge is nice, but the ability to work with local producers and ingredients is definitely a more sustainable way to both eat and drink. In addition, it's also fun to explore the unique products that local producers are making in your area. Shipping food around the world is an expensive and wasteful exercise, and the less distance that a product has to travel before it goes into your mouth, the better and more sustainable it is overall for the environment. Working with local products more often is a great way to reduce your impact, and more often than not, we found that local producers are making more interesting and higher quality products than you might find at, big box stores or large retailers. We're definitely very lucky here in BC, and we have a wide range of spirits and other ingredients to use, so we're going to start with a variation on the classic aviation. Let's get into it. So before we get into actually making the cocktail, I wanted to give just a quick overview of the three main ingredients that we're using. We're using lemons, which you can get in BC almost year round, which I thought was definitely an interesting one. Look for local producers because they'll definitely surprise you. We'll start up with our sort of West Coast Amaro. This is made from Woods Spirits up in North Van. It's similar to Campari, but has a little bit of a different herbal mix, and has what they call like a West Coast inflection, which I pick up as a little bit of a like coniferous flavors and that sort of thing. It's a little bit fresher, I would say, than Campari, but that could also be the ingredients are actually fresher, like you're drinking it sooner after it's been made. Up next, we've got Empress Gin. This is the 1908 Empress Gin made with pea flower blossoms. The cool thing about this one is it will actually change color in the presence of citric acid from our lemon, which I do expect it to do in this cocktail. Overall, it's a pretty sweet gin. It has a lot of flavor actually from the pea flower blossoms, which come across as sort of just like a pleasant, muted sort of herbal sweetness. It's a nice gin for mixing, as well as just drinking by itself. And then lastly, this is sort of the wild card ingredient that we've got. This is creme de lavande from Arbutus Distillery. So this is going to take the place of the creme de violette in the original aviation recipe. This is a spirit made on Vancouver Island in Nanaimo using BC grain spirit as well as locally picked lavender, which we thought was a really cool inclusion as opposed to the more traditional creme de violette, which we can't get here made locally. The overall flavor is relatively similar to creme de violette. It's got sort of that perfumey floral flavor, but it's, I would say, somewhat less aggressive. It definitely comes across more subtle, and it's a spirit that you can sort of sip on its own, as opposed to, I find creme de violette's often like very intense and overwhelming. It's sort of like drinking a bottle of perfume when you try it by itself. So this is great, yeah. Let's mix this guy up. We're gonna start, like a lot of cocktails, by juicing our citrus. I've got a lemon here, so I'm just gonna cut this guy in half. We're looking for about 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And then the rest of the ingredients can just be added to the short cup of our shaker. So we'll start with our lemon, 3/4 of an ounce of that. And then we've got our Woods Amaro here. This is taking the place of Campari or Aperol in the original recipe. We're going to do a 1/2 ounce of that. And next up, we've got this is actually creme de lavande. The original aviation recipe uses creme de violette, so we're swapping out that. The flavors are somewhat similar, and it's going to give this drink definitely a unique twist. We're doing a 1/2 ounce of that guy as well. And then finally, to finish this guy off, we're going to do a full 1.5 ounces of our Empress Gin. And there we go. Let's shake this guy up with ice and see what we got. And I think our sort of fun color change has worked. Both of the Empress Gin as well as the Creme de Lavande use pea flower blossoms, which in the presence of citric acid from our lemon, go from this purple color to what you're about to see, this wonderful pink. So that's kind of fun. And to finish this guy off, you can grab a section of lemon peel and just expel it over the surface and drop that guy in. There we go. We're going to call this drink the Imperial Aviator after Empress Gin and all the other ingredients. Let's give it a taste. It's very lemony right off the nose. That's really the only aroma that you're really getting there. Ooh, it's interesting. It's got almost like a cucumber flavor that comes through, which I think is coming from the combination of the gin and the Amaro. It's definitely very fresh. Yeah, interesting. It's very cucumbery. Super nice and light, very easy to drink. It's sort of difficult to pick out the ingredients themselves because they all integrate really well here. Like, this is sort of like a classic recipe that we've just switched up some of the ingredients on. It's really great. I could definitely see, you know, this would be perfect as like, you know, your first drink on the patio, start of spring kind of vibes. It's great. It's not too sweet. Yeah, it's a great gin cocktail. What else can I say? I think I do have one tweak that I want to do before we say that this one's done. This Creme de Lavande is significantly less sweeter than I would say like most Creme de Violette is. So I'm just going to add about a bar spoon of simple syrup. Stir that guy together. And this is just going to bring out, I think, those floral flavors in both the gin and the lavender. Well, all of the ingredients, really. And just balance it out a little better with that acidity, because it is quite a fresh, acidic sort of cocktail. So I think the sugar may help fill out the profile just a touch. Definitely, big time, big time. You get that sort of floral lavender, almost like bite now. You really, I think, get the full flavor of those herbal sort of things going on with the lavender. I think it actually does bring out more flavor from the other ingredients as well. It just sort of turns up the intensity of the flavor of the cocktail. So I would say that if you're going to use the Creme de Lavande in place of something like Creme de Violette, just add a little bit more sugar and it'll just balance out that much better. It is definitely interesting using what is basically all BC ingredients. Well, is all BC ingredients. Also definitely does give it, this may just be in my head, but it gives it like this different sort of freshness. It has like a coniferous sort of flavor. Yeah, sort of a coastal sea breeze kind of vibe, but not in a sort of tropical like tiki lime, that sort of way. More in a sort of Pacific Northwest kind of coastal way. It's very interesting. It's definitely a very nice cocktail. So there you go. If you want more of these 150 kilometer sort of local backyard cocktails in future, be sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.